Things might be messed up, and that's life, and that's cool, and that's acceptable, and that's natural, and that's living. What matters is कि इन सर्कमस्टांसेस की बेसिस के ऊपर, जहां कहीं गुची नहीं है, निर्वाणा नहीं है, अरमानी नहीं है, या पॉल वेलेरी नहीं है, all these brands that defines us, which हम बाद में ले लेते हैं. It's okay if life is not filled up with all this stuff, the stuff thing. Having a dent because of discrepancies in materialism and relationship is very normal. अल्लाह ने दुनिया बनाई ऐसी थी, हर आदमी यूनिक है अपने अंदर. But Prophet ﷺ says, उस डेंट को लगने के बाद being human is coming back to naturality and being normal. अगर जुल्म के बाद या कमी और नक्स के बाद या डेफिशिएंसी के बाद भी अगर हमने जानवर ही बनना है, हमने अपनी साइकोलॉजी के अंदर एक्सट्रीमिस्ट एंगल्स लेने हैं और अपने आप को हम उस ओरिजिनल सेल्फ को छुपाने के लिए, बिकॉज द फर्स्ट स्लैप ऑफ लाइफ दैट केम एट 4-year-old, when you were 4-year-old and 5-year-old and 6-year-old and 7-year-old, it was all okay you being rejected by the world. It's all chill if you didn't get that love. It's all okay if you didn't get those opportunities to be accepted and loved and appreciated for yourself. It's totally fine. This is life, sweethearts. That's living. But what was wrong is when you stopped facing yourself. जब हमने अपना सामना करना बंद कर दिया, जब हम अपनी problems, अपनी discrepancy, अपनी deficiency, अपनी insufficiency को accept नहीं करते. And that is when we start running for things to define कि ये मुझे accept कर लें. Satisfaction की definition according to Aristotle and other philosophers, उनको छोड़ के western world को भी छोड़ के बताऊं, in our world satisfaction की definition है all plastic. We want people's prostration, people's recognition, people's love. People are too important in our life, and I'm not a person who's not a social human being. Al-insanu min al-inas. Man comes, the word man in Arabic comes from the social. We are social, but we don't worship the people. That's not the actualization of human being. The actualization of human being is, even with the dent that we get in our life at any stage, by our own self, by the resources around us, being human, being natural, being on that equilibrium is the actual jihad and struggle of life. And that is the reason why Allah says to Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam, فَإِذَا فَرَغْتَ فَانْصَبْ وَإِلَىٰ رَبِّكَ فَارْغَب. कि जब आप दुनिया के मसाइल के अंदर जाएंगे ना, when you are going to deal with the दुनिया, डेंट लगेगा, सबको लगता है. कम बैक, डू तस्किया, प्योरिफिकेशन ऑफ द हार्ट, क्लेanliness ऑफ द सोल, ह्यूमन साइकोलॉजी की इक्विलिब्रियम, नेचुरल बैलेंस करना. बिकॉज व्हेन यू आर गोइंग टू गो इनटू द सोसाइटी, व्हेन यू आर गोइंग टू गो इनटू सिचुएशंस, व्हेन यू आर गोइंग टू डील विद पीपल, व्हेन यू आर गोइंग टू डील विद एजेस, थिंग्स अराउंड यू, थिंग्स विल हर्ट यू, things will make a difference in your life, and that's okay. But it's too disturbing. Is आप किसी से बात, इसलिए Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam says he is a better Muslim who goes in the society of Mahajirs and Sindhis and Pathan and Pashtun and Kashmiris. He goes in the lower middle class and the middle class and the high class, and he goes in the musicians and the artists and the NCAs. He goes to the management schools. He goes around to the people. और हर किसी का मजाक और gestures का तरीका different होता है, हर किसी का interaction का तरीका different होता है. So people doesn't know sometimes, how to carry along with people of other races, of other ethnicity. So what happens? Like you get offended. You really get offended. Probably when I stepped in this room, you might not be comfortable with me, and similarly I share the same as well, I guess, because they are new faces I'm alienated from, and I don't know what might be the reaction after I finish my lecture. But Prophet ﷺ says he is a better Muslim, a better human being, जो सिस्टम में लेता है, रहता है, नॉक डाउन होता है, मिजाजों के इख्तलाफ के बाद भी टूटता है, मगर कम्युनिटी नहीं तोड़ता, sticks with people, takes the good from them, gives the good back to them, मगर नेगेटिविटी नहीं आने देना. बेटर irrespective उस मुसलमान के जो कहता है I can't do it. We are not satisfied because we are not true to ourselves, we are not true to the resources God has given us, we are not true to God as well, and we are not true to the people God created. And that is the reason we are skipping from here and there, zigzagging and taking shortcuts, सिर्फ एक फेक तरीके के साथ to reach that position जहाँ दुनिया मुझे मान ले. तो I tell you something, ये हुस्न, ये जमाल, ये कमाल, ये खत्म हो जाएगा एक टाइम, ये सब चला जाएगा एक टाइम. You will find people not sticking with you and sitting next to you. You will find your memory, ये अपना आप इंसान का साथ छोड़ दे. Your memory, your beautiful intellect, the innovative mind that creates so many things, ये सब चला जाएगा एक टाइम पर. If you build your satisfaction on the basis of dunya, on the basis of materialism, on the basis of mal and bunun and relationship, زُجِّلَ لِلنَّاسِ حُبُّ الشَّهَوَاتِ مِنَ النِّسَاءِ وَالْبَنِينَ وَالْقَنَاطِيرِ الْمُقَنطَرَةِ مِنَ الذَّهَبِ وَالْفِضَّةِ وَالْخَيْلِ الْمُسَوَّمَةِ وَالْأَنْعَامِ samai wal hars. If you build your satisfaction on the basis of the materialistic pleasures and this branded world and your social conformity and your social contacts and the world which you have and the world you want to conquer, seriously speaking, I tell you, either दुनिया में हर ख्वाहिश पूरी नहीं, जो पूरी होती है वो छिन जाती, और जो पूरी होती है वो अकॉर्डिंग टू द लॉ ऑफ डिमिनिशिंग मार्जिनल यूटिलिटी वो डिमिनिश होके खत्म हो जाएगी. Even the I love you is not gonna sound cool after 3 months. You need a new one. You sit in the Lamborghini, seriously speaking, you're going to be bored after 5 days. Imagine a person sitting for 1 year in a Lamborghini saying, wow. I mean, can you do that? That's freakish. That is so psychopathic. This world cannot give you what you're actually seeking, because this world can be marginally utilized. सुकून जो है, इत्मीनान जो है, सख्त तेज हवाओं में, वो तन तन्हा अकेली रातों में, is with God. Is with when you know अंतुम अला लौना इन कुंतुम मुमिनीन, कि तू ही डोमिनेंट रहेगा हमेशा उनके ऊपर जो कभी भी तेरी तरक्की बर्दाश्त नहीं कर सकते, जो कभी भी तेरा सुकून बर्दाश्त नहीं कर सकते थे. If you have faith in Him and then you have a practice of developing and perfecting that faith, Allah says अंतुम अला लौन, गालिब तू ही होगा. You will be the person who will be dominant in your life, and you will have a sukoon of a mountain, of a tower mountain that nobody can shut it down. And even if it gets shut down, you still have Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. The biggest core of your life is God and heaven. उसके बाद अल्लाह कहते हैं दुनिया भी बना, ऊंट बांध, फिर तवक्कुल कर, build your life, do your businesses, be an entrepreneur, build your life, but build your relationship with God first. فَإِذَا عَزَمْتَ فَتَوَكَّلْ عَلَى اللَّهِ, इरादा कर मगर अल्लाह के साथ एक्चुअलाइज कर अपने आप को. Build a relationship, test your relationship with God. Check your relationship with Him. When He has been honest with you, when He has been committed with you, why aren't you walking ahead towards physically, spiritually, morally, ethically, heartily, emotionally, from your behavioral psychology? What's stopping you from reaching that position where nobody can destroy you in any ways or the ना जुबान से, ना आंखों से, ना हरकत से, ना सकनात से, ना जिस्म से? Why don't you want to perfect yourself with those teachings? It is the spirituality with Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala that will take you out of depression. Allah says, La tahzan. Depression in Arabic is in Arabic hazan, huzn, la tahzan, gham mat kar, inna Allah ma'ak. God is with you. But just being with you won't do the thing. You need to build your relationship to an extent where you start seeing Him, and that level is not attained and achieved just by saying La ilaha illallah. That level is an ta'bud Allah ka'annaka tarahu fa in lam takun tarahu fa innahu yaraka. That you live your life in such a way with Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala on daily basis that the relationship after some time reaches to such an extent ka'annaka tarahu, as if you're seeing Allah. فَإِن لَمْ تَكُنْ تَرَاهُ, and if you haven't seen God in your life from your heart, at least attain that level in your heart where He is watching you. I guarantee you, nothing can break you down except for your death, and that is still going to be very beautiful. Death is a beautiful gift God has given you. It gives us hope. It gives us hope of eternity. It gives us hope of an end that will really get us that satisfaction, that actualization what we are seeking. ये दुनिया तो कितने ख्वाबों को तोड़ गई, कितने दिल बर्बाद कर गई है. Ask yourself the basic question before pursuing your degrees, before pursuing your career, making a relationship, going for a job, or starting a new life is, who are you? Because that would define the most important element of your life is your sense of belonging. And it is the lack of sense of belonging in ourselves that जिसकी वजह से हम ये छलांगे लगाते हैं, जिसकी वजह से हम ये जंपे लगा रहे होते हैं इधर से उधर. Because जब भी आप किसी से when you try to pursue someone who you are, the answer you get is so disturbing. It's in an image of a person who you think is successful, whom you think is actually the one who has crossed the checkered flag. And that is not the case with it, because every life, according to the Islamic perspective, is unique, different, and in itself very special. So you just cannot say कि जो उसके हालात हैं, जो उसकी opportunities हैं, जो उसकी limitations हैं, जो उसके मसाइल हैं, that would be the same with you as well. And that is where we start looking at the lives of others and start finding solutions by copy pasting, by searching on net and asking other people, did you go through this thing or not? Why are you asking for the problems in your life from the person around you, from people around you? ये कैसे हो सकता है कि आपने तो अपनी यूनिकनेस की उसी वक्त तबाही फेर दी है when you start asking solutions from other people, whereas your solution is divine in its own sense, in its essence. It has to be revealed, it has to come from the being who has created you and who knows you. इतना potential किसी इंसान में कैसे हो सकता है कि वो एक दूसरे इंसान को समझ भी सके, उसकी टोपोग्राफी, उसके उसकी डेमोग्राफिक्स, उसकी जेनेटिक्स, उसकी अपब्रिंगिंग, उसकी साइकोपैथी, उसकी साइकोलॉजी, उसका पास्ट, उसकी मादी, उसकी इमोशनल साइकोलॉजी, उसकी बिहेवियरल साइकोलॉजी, उसकी डिजायर्स, उसका डिमेंटेड, shattered apart, complex, arrogant, jealous self, and the one that is trying to evolve and improve. How can another person understand that? How do you expect a person to understand how unique, how distinguished, and how lonely, and how in its own essence personal you are with your own self? So the biggest problem for sukoon, for coming out of depression, उस अंधेरे से बाहर निकलने के लिए जिसकी वजह से हम अपने आप को लॉक डाउन कर लेते हैं, फर्स्ट ऑफ ऑल यू आर आस्किंग द सोल्यूशन फ्रॉम द रॉन्ग एंड.